but they've gone for the same lineup then. So across the top against All Authority, still using Priest, Druid, Warrior, and along the bottom is going to be SK EU as opposed to the SK US team, which I think has fallen apart now. Is it SK US that exists?
Yep, yeah, it definitely does. They changed some players a little bit, but that's the reason why they're not at this tournament, is because they're changing up their roster a bit right now, trying to decide on a really strong team to send to future tournaments.
Okay, great. So then Zom, Another, and O'Reilly in the driving seat for this game, winning 2-0 right now, and they've not really had any problems. Like, even though they're playing against a double healer, their damage output and their aggressiveness seems to be too much to heal in a way, obviously with a fantastically coordinated crowd control. So as we get ready then, round 3, and which could be the final round for SK as we enter Nagrand.
Now, Zom is going to be trying to find this Druid. But he's actually, if you look at him on your screen right now, if you can, look at where he's starting. He's starting way back. He knows that if he lets the Warrior charge in, he's going to have basically his pick of what target to open on without having to scout around and find it.
I'm in Zom cam right now.
Yep.
It's awesome.
So, but he might be trying to skirt around the sides to try to find because a lot of Druids will sometimes, as you can see, the Druid is sitting up on the railings way to the left, and had Zom kept going, he would find him, but he's just looking for that Druid right now.
Dun, dun, dun.
Probably going to get a sap off on the Priest, so he's still... The Druid hasn't shown himself yet. I think he's afraid of dying right away since his Priest is sapped. But not finding the Druid, he decides to go right on the Priest. Warrior
is actually in battle stance and could be feared after this poly, but actually really opts to go for to chase down the Druid as much as he can. And we see
Druid
a lot of damage on Zephyrus, and that was going to be a Nature Swiftness, and now the pain suppression. He's also popped Stone Form. Still at half health, though. He's going to be healed up quite nicely here, but that might not matter as we've seen SKEU change targets quite regularly, but they do.
Okay, the Druid is blinded right now,
and O'Reilly's on top of him.
Yep, looks like he was feared earlier. He may have trinketed towards the end, and we do have some Mind Blast coming out. Druid is counterspelled right now. Changes to travel form, gets away from the fight, trying to stand behind Zephyrus. You know, this is correct positioning in this fight right here, is trying to follow the target you need to heal while keeping yourself out of line of sight from the mage. But, okay, here's the switch. We do have Shadow Step. One of the abilities is that you can switch targets so fast with the Shadow Step setup. And they know Trude doesn't have a trinket right now. If he gets stuck in this kidney, he's going to die.
Well, yeah, and he's down to half health. Manages to heal himself out quite nicely. I didn't seem to have like many poisons on him. I'm sure that was just a swift mend as opposed to a Nature Swiftness. And there we go, a second Shadow Step to stay on the travel form. Druid goes into bear form, and a nice Sphere, as well as Intercept and Hamstring. But Trude actually looking like doing it. He's going to be in kidney shot now. This is going to be a dangerous situation for him.
You know, really right now is he does have the Warrior on him right now, but he was able to get a couple ticks of drink off.
And we actually have Another now joining the fight. So he's got his pet up as well, so there's going to be a lot of damage on Trod here. He manages to get away. Innovate is popped. He has a decent amount of mana, so he should be able to keep up, especially with the Priest around. There comes another kidney shot onto the Druid of Against All Authority, and he's kiting quite nicely right now. So just changing over to Another offensive.
He was feared during his evocation, and that's why. Okay, here comes the second blind onto Leah, and they polyed on top of it, which isn't too good. Little bit of a lack of communication right there between the teams, but still looking pretty good. With the kidney shot onto Trude. And Zom has his trinket popped right now, which means he's going to be doing a bit more damage. It looks like they're just going to ride this Druid all the way to the end.
Yeah, it does seem to be the case. Mana burns coming out from O'Reilly. Zephyrus in a poly right now, so it's just tried to look after himself. And it looks like he did a Shadow Word Death on O'Reilly there to slow down one of the mana burns so it wouldn't connect and then run around the corner. It's a really smart play. Fear on Zephyrus.
Leah and Zephyrus right now are getting separated a lot, and he's not getting out of those polys fast at all. So you can see that Trude is running towards his Priest, which is a smart move right now, and gets that pain suppression to keep himself alive. So Zom is an improved hamstring stuck in the center, and looks like he might be shivving the... no, he's actually going to switch to Leah right now and do some damage. But, you know, they have to know that these two healers are almost out of mana.
Yeah.
So that's why they're deciding to switch onto the Warrior.
Yeah, and that's going to, well, hopefully Zephyrus will take over healing while Trude gets a few drinks in, but actually none of them seem to want to do this whatsoever. And Leah coming back to play very defensively is he knows that, well, here we go. We have actually really mana burning what was left of the
out of stealth. Has to, and then we see a chastise on Zom after he had to will out of that fear. So Zephyrus has Stone Form up right now because they know that he was going to switch on into it. Problem is he has no mana to put Inner Fire back up, and Trude is completely out of mana. Big hit onto Zephyrus with the Priest helping out. Trude can't do anything right now. Has no mana. Going to be able to
a Cyclone actually comes off and a Life Balloon, but it's not going to be enough. Yeah. And Zephyrus goes down after being chased around. He had decent help for the mana that was there, but it was never going to keep him alive, and that's going to make the score 3-0 and a clean sweep for the German organization and a mixed gaming team of SK Gaming. So as we just watch the others kindly die, if that is the correct words you could use in that terms. But as I said, I mean, I felt that Trod should have really been looking much more to get out of combat in that situation and drink while Zephyrus still had about 2,000 mana, and then get back into the fight and able to help. But none of them did. And I know another was chasing the Druid Trod, who eventually dies now, over to the Warrior, fighting to the last death. And this is going to mean that SK have a good advantage of qualifying either second now or third, as they are going to be 2-1 in scores. So there we go, 3-0, and it's Zom. Look at the damage outputs that we actually have on screen. Leia actually only put out 35k damage because of the pressure. Well, I don't know, just because of pure control, I'd imagine.
Yeah, he was polyed over and over and over, and he got separated from his priest a lot.